What's up, douches? Hey, listen to me now. Can you hear me? Yeah. And I said hi, hi, because I can teach you Japanese. You know what I like about those songs? None of them have anything to do with Tiffany, Stephanie Horfany. What stupid whore. She's still bothering me at nighttime. Like I think for like a minute Disney Plus was like mad at her because she like didn't bother me 2 nights ago. And then I probably took it too far because I was like yelling at Disney Plus anyways. I was like, yeah, take that, motherfuckers. Finally, I got a good night's sleep. Eat shit. Tell that stupid whore to go fucking stupid whore bullshit. And now I think they're accounting for it. So I think now they're like, Stephanie, we're gonna put some other girl on a thingamajiggy, and then you yell at him, and then he'll yell at us, and we'll use that for publicity. So I didn't do it this time. What I did is I beat all the AI challenges as a Terran on very elite, and now I know why everyone rushes battle cruisers all the time. Because if you don't, you pretty much can't beat the AI. You can turtle and expand more than they do, and then you still have to attack with battle cruisers because they'll just mass tanks. Look, the only thing I can say, all these douches who are trying to get into music, and they're all from California. Spin and freak out syndrome. Look, if you want to be successful, you have to do what 99.9% of the people will not or cannot do. Everyone wants to be an influencer. Everyone wants to be on podcasts and all that bullshit. But back in the day, the way you would be on a podcast, or see, podcasts used to be called shows or documentaries or docu-series, and you only got one if you were interesting, because why the fuck else would someone want to tune in to watch your bullshit? Now everyone is like promoted by all this stupid horseshit. Everyone is like, oh no, this me and this other loser, me and this other loser from this other think tank, and blah 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 blah. Blah. And it's all retarded. And it's true. I'm pretty sure Stephanie joined some kind of a cult. We'll call it Gadians and Robbers, just to make things easier, because I don't want. I just woke up and took a shit. But the whole point of that shit even existing is because the people in those things are in a cult. The people in those things are in a cult. And the people in those things are in banking families. And the people in those things have distant cousins who are coneheads, who live in weird underground gravity lift scenarios paid for by taxpayer money funneled through black ops government programs, blah, 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 blah. And it all leads to the Nazis in Antarctica because World War II never ended. They just went from Germany to Antarctica. I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. Apparently, me playing StarCraft 2 and getting popular means Alex Jones has to copy me some more. I don't give a shit. You're a loser. You're a fat piece of shit. If I ate 10 pizzas every day, I could not be as fat as a piece of shit as you are. Because I think you're a sellout to the country and you're a controlled opposition. Just like Snowden is and all that bullshit. Bradley Manning, Chelsea Manning, in my opinion, is a useful idiot and was like trying to do the right thing and just got caught up in all some crazy bullshit and probably went cuckoo nutso in prison. But anyways, look, we're all in this together because the coneheads and all that bullshit and the fucking Antarctica Nazis and all that crazy bullshit. And the coneheads are really just us mixed with like Neanderthal and Denisovian and all that bullshit. So it's still human. They're just like jaded humans. They're like human cousins and they're like super pissy because they're like, we were here first. You're like, yeah, but your turn is over. But I was here first. I should get unlimited turns. You can't have unlimited turns. That's stupid. But I want unlimited. I was here first. Who was here before you? Well, I don't want to get into that. Okay, so now you're just being a douche. You don't get unlimited turns. Hurry up now. But anyways, so all this comes down to money. Money is their creation. I mean, I forgot where I heard this, but do you not think it's funny that we live on a planet where everything we need for survival literally grows on trees, and everyone goes, money doesn't grow on trees now. Well, then why are we dependent on it for our survival? It's so fucking stupid. Anyways, so they're crashing the economy, they're pumping crypto, they're dumping crypto, blah, 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 blah. Even when I'm not in between jobs, every day I wake up and I look at jobs because I don't want to be broke anymore. Or I remember what it was like to be broke. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm never going to be broke again and all that bullshit. Like, I don't have everything I want right now, but I'm a fuck ton better off than I was 10, 15 years ago. Anyways, so I remember the days when I would have to like wake up and like literally just like walk down the street until I saw a sign that said now hiring, and I would go in and I would argue and plead and try to get a job, and then I would get that job eventually, and then I would have to like walk there and work and get minimum wage and all that bullshit, and it was stupid. Then I had a friend, and she was working at Geek Squad, and I remember her bitching about how she spent all day fixing other people's computers, but she couldn't buy her own computer. And I was like, that sucks. So somehow or another, I'm pretty sure my dad told me about it, I got into HVAC. I remember that first time I got a paycheck. It said $800. It wasn't even for a full paycheck. I like almost nutted in my pants. I got a bag of weed and like a bunch of McDonald's, and I played Final Fantasy X until people yelled at me and told me to like do something with my life. Around that time, I started getting full paychecks that were like $1,200 every 2 weeks, and I could not stop nutting in my pants about it. I felt like such a big shot. I even bought a used car. Then I was like, I pretty much got lucky by getting this job. Let me go get a degree or a certificate in HVAC. That way, worst case scenario, I can get another job. Then when I was going over all the PLCs and all the refrigerants and the refrigeration cycle and all that bullshit, then they started talking about how all that shit is getting put on computers and the VFDs, what are those for the variable frequency drives and the programmable logic controls and the Wonderware software and the hydronic systems and the airflow calculators and the thermistors and the sensors that turn pressure into electrical current and the sensors that turn electrical current into pressure, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, holy shit. Then, around that time, Stuxnet happened. Who remembers Stuxnet? Stuxnet was essentially, they don't come out and say it, but it's when the US and the Israeli cyber ops used malware to shut down Iranian nuclear weapons programs that shouldn't exist in the first place. They're both assholes, all of them. If they say government, they're an asshole. Like, the Tick put it best. When they knock on his door, they say, Tick, we're from the government. And he says, no, thank you. We have all the government we need. Anyways. Then, look, I want to go play more StarCraft 2. Because I remember around that time, I was like, I could just keep on playing. I could keep on working these HVAC jobs. making like 25, 30. I saw one for $110,000 a year, but you have to be like a project lead and all that bullshit, which I could probably do now. Wow. I remember back then all I wanted to do was get a, because I was playing StarCraft 2 with a an I3, and I couldn't use my ghosts. I kept losing to Protoss. I couldn't snipe the High Templar and all that bullshit. So that's probably why I don't use ghosts enough. And I was like, I'm gonna get me an I5 or an I7, and I'm gonna become a professional StarCraft 2 player, and then I'll show everyone. I'll show all of them. I'll be a professional StarCraft 2 player. They always said, you can't play video games for a living. Yeah, well, watch this. All I had to do was keep my mouth shut and not go on about power plants and get hacked. And I could have just focused on StarCraft 2. Instead, I decided to look into it even more. Well, what I'm getting at is I'm glad because it's raining outside. It's fucking... Look, would you, given the options, being like a bum and working at like pizza shops and being a waiter and a caterer, that's kind of lame. I would rather do HVAC than that shit. But if I was working an HVAC job right now, or like a plumbing job, or like a steam fitter job, I'd have to be outside right now in the rain, or driving in traffic, or in a metro, dealing with people. I'd have to play that bullshit. Hey man, how was your weekend? How was your weekend? You know what I'm doing this weekend? I really don't give a fuck, but I'm gonna go ahead and say yes anyways. Good money. Good solid money. But you know what's even better than that? Cyber jobs. Because most of them tend to be remote. I started doing interviews for hybrid and in-person, and a lot more people started hitting me up for remote. That's cool. I'd rather be remote also. I'm just willing to do hybrid and in-person because of my car. Stephanie is dumb. She's in these positions she's in because she's horrible with money. Everyone is horrible with money. They print money. The conehead Nazi motherfuckers, Neanderthal, Dagon, Vishnu, whatever the fucks, they found a way to quantify human retardation, and they called it money. They introduced it into the system, and everyone fights over money and sells out very cheaply over money. And it doesn't grow on trees. They print it. They print it. They print it, and they issue it to you for more than they're going to give it to you, which means you have to pay them interest. So, on top of that, they then started bombarding you with shitty music and shitty TV. That way, you will think something like working at McDonald's is a good job, which is, I mean, I worked at McDonald's. It was my first W-2 job. I was also in high school. You know what I'm saying? And then they want you to be broke and dependent on them. They want you to go to their shitty little concerts, wave their little fucking thingamajiggy, pay their debt slaves, who they own and control, and use to steal even more from you. And if you think that sucks, then get an HVAC trade. And if you don't like getting sprayed in the face with refrigerant, and if you don't like having to, you know, carry around pipe wrenches and climb fucking 3-story ladders, well then maybe you should get a fucking certification in cybersecurity. And if you even then don't want to deal with someone's attitude and you think that people might just be rubbing you the wrong way, you can take some of that money you've made, invest into crypto, and I don't know what else to tell you. Just, this is stupid. All this bullshit is because other people are in debt. I'm not even in that much debt. But stupid Orphanie's in debt, and look at all this bullshit she's caused. This is retarded. Conehead motherfuckers. They quantified human stupidity. and they like get a kick out of everyone being retarded is the best way to describe it. All right, peace out.